All right, everybody, this is part two of our spring gobbler hunting videos in Nebraska. If you like these videos, give us a like, subscribe, we'd appreciate it. So let's jump right in. We're gonna be talking about hunting spring gobblers in Nebraska, but specifically in the Pine Ridge Mountains of Nebraska. Me and a buddy of mine, we hunted there in the spring of 2021. We had a great time. We did it all on our own, hunted public land. It's a trendy term bouncing around, do it yourself, public land, what have you. But it is awesome. It's fun. It's affordable. You can do it yourself. It's a very easy hunt to plan, to get your tags, get your room. Pretty easy. It's doable. Watch our first video. You can find out some more on your tags and licenses and what you need to expect before you go. But in this video, we're going to be talking about what we learned and what made us successful on that trip. So, with that being said, let's jump right in and see what we can cover here. So, before we ever left Virginia, I had multiple spots picked out on where I'd like to hunt. I was using the Onyx Maps. It's a great app. If you're planning on going on an out-of-state hunt, you're going to have some sort of mapping resource. I use Onyx. It's been really good to me. But anyway, I'll probably have between 15 and 20 spots picked out of where I thought we could start hunting at, whether that be where I thought turkeys might be or where people might not be, and we could walk and get where some people would be. And with that being said, you're going to have to stay mobile. So, go check a spot out. If you like it, you know, change the color of that pin or whatever, come back and check it out. If you don't like it, do not waste your time. Don't go back because you've got a limited schedule. So just stay mobile when you're looking for turkeys. Um, just keep after them until you find some. Secondly, in the Pine Ridge Mountains of Nebraska, you're going to hunt greenwoods. And I'll post a picture of what that looks like. And basically, what that is you're going to be hunting in pine trees. I didn't know what that even meant when I first heard it. Funny story, we made into town late on our first morning. We were supposed to have been hunting that morning. I actually hit a deer in the middle of the night in my buddy's truck. Destroyed his truck. We limped it into town with a door duct taped, a fender dragging a tire. We got to the first restaurant in northwest Nebraska, stopped to get breakfast, and there's two guys in there who had actually already killed turkeys that morning. We got to talking to them. They were kind enough to give me the advice to hunt greenwoods. Now, they didn't say what that was, but it was really good advice, and I'm going to tell you what that is. Greenwoods is where there's pine trees. So the turkeys up there, you'll catch them out on the edge of the trees. You might even catch them going from a big patch of pine trees to the next, but they're just they don't really hang out in these big, vast openings that you'll see. You might catch a stray coming through there or a big gang of them passing through, but what I saw was they just did not hang there for very long. One reason I think that is they're really exposed to other hunters. But secondly, it's predators. Now, I'm not real sure what all the main predators are in northwest Nebraska, but I know one was birds of prey because one morning specifically, I watched a group of turkeys, that's probably about 30 of them. They disappeared in a blink of an eye due to some sort of large bird of prey. I don't know if it was a hawk or an eagle. But anyway, those turkeys disappeared and did not make a peep for over an hour. Me personally, I think that's why they stay close to that timber because they can see what's going on. They're not exposed to any, or I won't say any, but a lot of birds of prey. So keep that in your back pocket, and you'll want to use that if you get a chance to go. I hope you do go. The next one I would say that we learned is I would expect to walk a lot. Here in Southwest Virginia, when I go turkey hunting, I'm not saying I don't walk a lot, but I generally just have on my clothes that I'm going to be hunting in, a hunting vest with some sort of seat, and like my jacket shoved in my backpack or my vest bag. When we were in Nebraska, we actually ditched our hunting vests, went to Walmart, and we bought backpacks because we were just walking so far. We were getting so hot with our clothes. We didn't have enough water, didn't have enough food. The first day we went out, we about froze to death and about starved. Um, so yeah, so expect to walk a lot. And these turkeys, they'll cover a lot of ground. I think that's just how they're used to traveling and looking for bugs and food. I mean, it can be kind of sparse out there, even in the trees. So expect to walk a lot. One, to get away from other hunters, but two, just to stay on the birds, getting in front of them, getting around them, or just locating them. So I would expect to walk anywhere between, for sure, a mile a hunt to 3 or 4. And that won't be in a straight line. They'll be kind of in a zigzag fashion. So you'll figure it out when you see on some maps and get a hunt or two under your belt. I would also say take a good pair of binoculars. We didn't have a set of spotting scope, but a spotting scope could be handy. I wouldn't say it's a have to, but I would say binoculars would be for sure something you want to take if you're going to be in the Pine Ridge Mountains. One, you're going to be up on these ridges and you can see a long ways. And those turkeys, you can spot them if you got binoculars. That's how the turkeys that we hunted every day, we actually spotted those with binoculars. And I mean, I'd been kicking myself if we'd have left them at home. They stayed around our necks on the dash of our truck every day, and we used them every single day. So you want some binoculars. You don't have to have a chest pouch. A lot of people put their binoculars in a chest pouch. But I would not just go with the regular neck strap. I'd go with something that goes around your shoulders where they'll hang right here because it will get tiresome with a shotgun, your bag, your backpack, whatever, plus a pair of binoculars. If you're not used to carrying those, you're going to want something to hold them tight. So get your pair of binoculars and some sort of a chest rig you can carry them in or that they'll be suspended on, and they will treat you well. You will be very happy that you took those. The next thing is once you find these turkeys in the Pine Ridge Mountains, do not leave turkeys to go find turkeys. Okay, and I mean is if you get on a group of gobblers one morning, okay, and you don't bust them up, you don't get one, I would be right back there the next morning. Okay, they're going to be pretty close to there, if not in the same trees. So the turkeys we were hunting, we actually had a group we was hunting in the morning and a group we was hunting of the evening. The bird we ended up killing was in the morning group, and it was actually roosted in this exact same tree it was, I think, on the second morning. So what I'm telling you is if those birds go undisturbed, they're going to be really close. Well, actually, maybe even if they are disturbed, let me take that back because the group of turkeys that was hunting in the mornings, we actually came in on another group of hunters. Sort of, we each kind of come on one another, and what ended up happening was is we saw what we thought was a gobbler strutting. Turned out it was a guy decoying, and he actually saw us. We were set up calling, and we saw this bird. It just didn't look right. Okay, and then we saw somebody. We actually waved to these people, and I was trying to motion to them that they could have the turkeys that we were going to slip out first chance we got because we could actually see the birds, and I don't think the other group of people could. And I was trying to motion to these guys that they could have them, that we were done and leaving. I don't know what they thought we were saying, but obviously it wasn't that we were leaving because these guys made a pretty hustled attempt to get on these turkeys, and each of them unloaded shotguns at a group of turkeys. Some of them were flying. They didn't hit any. That's just the breaks. Okay. Um, and I think 2 days later, we ended up harvesting a gobbler probably within 100 yards from out there, out of the very same tree he was in the first or second morning we was on him. So if you've been in there on them, they're undisturbed, possibly even lightly disturbed. I would be back pretty close to there the from then on because your time is limited. If there's turkeys there, just keep going till you can get on them. Okay. And lastly, this goes along with the other one. Expect other hunters. You're going to see plenty of hunters. Do not get discouraged. There's people that go out there every year. They've got their little honey hole spots they want to go. But there's also new people passing back and forth. And at night in those little towns, if you go out to a restaurant or bar to get something to eat, you'll run into plenty of turkey hunters. There'll be people talking, and you may even spot some of their vehicles when you're out and then run into them when you're eating like we did. And something that I would tell you is there are a lot of roads in the Pine Ridge Mountains across public land. It's easily navigable, but something that I personally never saw was a turkey from the road. We never saw a single turkey from the road, and it gets road hunted a lot. And I actually witnessed a group of birds one morning, even though they were jakes, they did not respond to a guy's calling from the road. Like, car come up, you heard it stop, these birds never made a single noise. Car kept going. So if it was me, I would tell you to get you a map and pick you some spots you can walk out to and listen, or glass. So we hunted for 6 days, never saw a turkey from the road on public land. So keep that in your pocket also. Wear you some good fitting boots and go after them. Some things I would change going back, not if, but when I go back, is I'm not going to use a decoy. What we ran into with the decoys is that hens would come in, the gobblers would not. There would be one lone hen come in. It's happened to us 2 times. She would come in, not necessarily within gun range, but she would come in close enough to really give these decoys a once over, and she was gone. She would hang out for a little bit, just absolutely raise immortal Cain on us, and then leave. And Graham, we had what I think are good decoys. These are AVNX decoys, and to me they look good, but to this hen, it just wasn't working for her. And when we harvested a bird, we were not using decoys. Another issue I have with decoys is that other hunters can see your decoys, and it will draw the attention of other hunters because they think it's a turkey, so they're going to come in there on you. So me personally, I'm not taking decoys if I go back. It's something else you just got to carry and worry about. We left them in the truck after our quick experiences with some hens. So forget the decoys. That's my advice. Okay. Another thing I would do for sure is I would get tighter to the birds. You've got a lot of topography out there that you can cut these birds off, sneak up close to them, get tight. Me personally, I think next time I would push the envelope a little bit more. And by that, I mean, if you can only get to 100 yards with them, okay, set up there. But there's going to be instances where you can get closer because you can see where they're at. And if they've been there for 10, 15 minutes, you know, keep sneaking up and then use the topography to your advantage. So instead of calling from too far away, I would sneak up a little bit closer. Those are 2 things I absolutely would change going back. I wouldn't lug decoys around, and I would start my hunt a little bit tighter than I normally would because you're not out there very long. Push the envelope a little bit, hunt a little bit tighter, hunt a little bit harder, and I think you're going to have some good success. And the last thing I would leave you with, and I'll say this goes for any out of state hunt or someplace where you're staying out of a hotel, a tent, your truck, whatever, hunt like it's work. You're spending time away from home, you're spending money that you wouldn't normally be spending, time away from your family. Go at it like work. When you get up, think, I'm going to kill something. Don't tell yourself, well, I might, or I don't think it's going to happen today. Say, yeah, I'm going to harvest something today, whether it's, turkey, deer, or whatever. But if you're in the Pine Ridge Mountains, man, you got to be on it because there will be other people there. They're going to be running and gunning. So just go at it like work and you're going to have a good time. And it's a really wonderful place to be. Especially if you've never hunted an area like that. Me, I hadn't. We saw mule deer while we were hunting, pronghorn antelope while we were hunting, a bull elk. He had antlers about this long in velvet right in front of us. It's just a really wonderful place to be. Uh, I know there's some bighorn sheep there too. We didn't see them, but there are some there. So the Pine Ridge Mountains, they're just a really great place. They hold a special place in my heart. First place I went on an out of state hunt. I will be back. And yeah, just go at it like work and you'll have a great time. So I hope this helps you. I hope you end up in Nebraska with a Merriam turkey and a tag notched. Take care.